And we're coming back now, and we're just seeing what it's. We've loosened off that bit to give him more length. You can see the distance. I'm not going to get a measuring tape out. As long as there's enough there to do that, because what I like to do is you may not have two trees, you know, sort of 7 feet apart in that perfect location, because you want to have this where your cooking area is not that far from your basher, your administration area. Barry's doing one of these little, are they marlin? Variation on the marlin, mate, was that?
Yeah, it's a variation on the marlin hitch.
Marlin hitch.
That's not wrong.
No.
We've got this on full stretch.
That's cool, mate, because this is what it's all about, finding out what's one and have a little tinker about with it. Because for me, that distance, I'd probably just put me lightweight hammock up and just kind of use it as a seat, if that makes sense. Apologies.
There you go. Freezing away, but hey ho.
Normally, if I was here for a while, mate, I'm not going to be starting cutting branches down just to. What I would do though, mate, see that one you got your foot by? So if that does come down, the one you've just kick that out of the way.
Let's have another go at falling out, shall we?
Hang on, Barry, you're going to catch your face on that, mate. There's probably a method of getting in and out of them, mate, and
I haven't perfected it. It's like getting in the hammock, I suppose, isn't it?
I think you've got to have your hands behind you, spray it from behind you. Yeah, getting it like that, yeah.
I suppose it's a bit like getting out of a hammock.
No, some modifications required, I think.
Weren't part of the plan.
No. Oh, well, you put the good bits and the bad bits up as far as I'm concerned. I just think the length's too far, mate, but never ever used a hammock seat before, and have a little bit of a shakedown, see if we can get them to work. Right, we're going to come back to you when we actually got it up and got Barry set on it, if indeed we can achieve that, because that's today's mission.
What we got total outlay here of what?
£3. Not even that. Right, no, sorry ladies and gents, yeah, Barry sort of, we said, I think that's the first time you've been in a hammock of any description, mate, yeah? Barry, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Sort of in there now. Personally, just my view is hammock seat. Can I use my hammock and use it as a seat by lowering one side down, not needing to carry two? I'll have a little think about that.
Well, a lot of people, they'll put the hammock up and they'll sit in it. They'll put, because the hammock's level, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they'll sit in it and they'll swing that way. So because this is sloping down. If I had this up level at both ends, you use it as a seat. You sit in the middle. Yeah. And you swing that way.
Because I actually just think that needs to be like, if that was 6 inches wider, that come round your body more. I think that's the problem on that,
so
mate.
I've got plenty up this side and
none on the other. Yeah, again, we've first time you've been out, it took me a little while to just get that. There was an act to getting in and out of one, mate. Well, the stitching, from my point of view, the stitching's held up right, you know. Again, as Barry's just said, as when the camera was off, that the heaviest thing about this is 2 carabiners, which you're going to want. They're multi-purpose, and you're going to want to cut over by their climbing carabiners. You know, it's having the same bit of kit that will do multiple tasks. Again, that's more than enough.
So as it is, this works as a prototype.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it works, mate. I mean, yeah, sometimes they're very simple. I just think it would come, but long enough, it's cool for a seat, just about right, so I'm happy with that. Stitching's holding up. Material strength, tensile strength of the material is good. I just think it needs to be wider, away from your hip to your hip, by about 6 inches, so that will just encompass you a bit more. Nice to
when
get
you
your
buy
head in.
when you buy 39-inch material, you don't get 45, do you?
No, that's fair enough. That was £1 a metre, mate. So.
Or you get 2 pieces and you sew it centrally.
Yeah.
But then that's going to give you possible strength issues.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I'm kind of.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, mate. Yeah. And again, I know that people might think, oh, you should be using a bit of paracord. Well,
there is no. If you're going to go by that, then you don't use tree huggers. You don't use am steel. What do you use?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their own variation on a theme.
Yeah, that's cool, mate. I mean, I like the idea of not damaging the trees, and like I say, I know it's me. When I eventually get around to doing a tarp, they can be used for many things, including holding up a tarp. You know, like quite a heavy tarp, because a lot of the guys are going to the old canvas tents and that now. So that's another little idea.
Now this, as it sits,
as having that central thing going. Well, it's kind of work now. We've probably looked. I'm always being honest, mate. Probably looked like 2 old guys messing about with a chair in the woods. But part of the problem was that you've never sat in one of these things. Oh no, we don't care, mate. It's
what
having
I'm
a
saying
laugh.
is, you see a lot of people sit in hammock chairs. They've got their feet hanging out on the things at the end.
Yeah. So no, I think we got that right.
There.
But I think like
it'll brush off.
yeah, it kind of did look a bit funny earlier on. But you've never sat in one before, mate, have you? No, I had a little bit. I mean, all them years as a soldier, I don't think I ever.
If you'd have sat in it, fell out, I'd have laughed.
Well, you know, you couldn't sue me anyway because you ain't paid for it, so you can't sue me. There was no like contractual obligations.
I mean, look, I'm 14.5 stone, and
we're happy with that, mate. Yeah. There was a little bit of cracking over the tree bark or just the stitches settling. I mean, yeah. Right, anyway, I want to get a brew on now, mate, because I'm.
Put a brand new tent up. It's going to crackle when it stretches.
But I mean, that's it. You're happy with that, mate? Yeah. And I think it's just the inexperience of us, the 2 of us. That's the first time, 1, we've ever made made one, and 2, the more times you put it up and sit in it, the quicker it's going to be. Like everything else, a learning curve, isn't it? So here ends today's lesson. I'm gagging for a brew, and I'm going to have a quick brew before we mosey on home.
Crack on.
Crack on. But I'm quite impressed. We had to fight through some brush and bubble here. Probably a bit naughty of me, like Barry didn't say his eggs were being.
Just turn it over.
Yeah. Cut like, but this is where you're not going to get the civvies following you. You know, the dog walkers and all your people. You know, look down their nose at you because I hate that in people. But quite flat plateau, and I'm thinking, lovely little spot for an overnight. We can't have no big fires because we can be seen, but other than that, you know, if you've got meth burners, and this is going to be this is my spot, and I'm gonna have a little name for this. I think. Well, this is the first one I've found. That's how lightweight that material is. It's blowing about in the wind. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get a brew on, troops. See you later. Yeah, a simple little Trangia set there, coming nicely to a rolling ball. 3.5, nearly 4 minutes. Barry beat me by about what, a minute? With your gas cooker? Yeah, about a minute. It's coming nicely to. I've got obviously a Trangia mesh burner in the bottom there. A little bit of traditional. I always used to use these within the army. A lot of British soldiers never thought much of them, but I loved them. Absolutely fantastic. So, well, I'll see you later after I've had my brew. Another little bit of boring nonsense. There's a bag here. Barry's using it for his brew kit. Good 20 years ago, when I got out of the army, I joined the TA for a bit. That's how. Huh?
That's
What's about?
I joined in 85, so it's about 86, 87.
Well, I was later than that, mate, because I was still in the army there. This bag we're looking at is something I made out of a British Army IPK sheet. Just give us a second. Yeah, so it's doubled over and so forth. Waterproof bags, because we didn't have them in them days. Sold it over on the machine and so forth. Doubled it over and then turned that seam around, which I always do. So the bag we're looking at was made by me, used by me in the army. Obviously, when I got out of the army, I joined the TA for a bit. Other things, you know, I was going to end up getting back in the army because I had to get out of me. I swapped Barry a load of kit Bergen and a set of webbing that I'd made, and I made that sort of copy of the Israeli sort of stuff. Yeah. And well, I think it was normal currency at the time. There was a few mucky films involved, weren't they, as per payment rather than cash. But the bag we're looking at, it's got to be like 25 years old. You know, Barry's now using this.
Huh? Don't throw nothing away.
No, it's still there, mate. I mean, that's like historic. That's like a blast from the past, mate. I actually used this when I was in the army, and
That's the best thing a kip sheet good for.
yeah, it's the only thing they're good for, making old plastic bags. And by the size of this, the top smock of me pockets, I would have obviously everything was waterproofed and that, because you know, as a soldier, you just keep going no matter what the weather is. But obviously, that would be in the top pocket of my smock, and anything would go into that. Hence, fold it over and waterproofing it. But there you go, a little bit of a boring trivia. So I made sort of a good 25 years ago, still in use today. Job done, and it cost nothing. Oh, don't forget the old amber nectar.
Yeah. There you go. Ooh-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo.
Have some of that.
That's exactly what it's designed for, I do believe.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not a hoofer, but I'm not lightweight, and if I needed to.
Put your feet up, yeah. And
Barry, did I actually say you could have this one? Did I? You sure?
well, I'll have the better one.
Well, there's always a bit of modification. No, but I'll tell you what, seriously, you know, here's a tight wad in one of my latest creations. Barry said he wanted one, came round, we spent about 40 minutes on the sewing machine. Not a lot of cost, and we all love that in these economic times.
Right, here we go then, cost comparison. Tightwad Productions, £3.
Probably about
Hammock Chair Productions, 12 to 15 if you're lucky delivered.
Oh, don't knock them, because no.
No.
I get a lot of, you know, today I was working out how to do things,
Yeah.
this and that, and this is part of, you know, I've got a few ideas where I'll just make a better one, and that's what I like doing, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock these, because like DD tarps and that, they're the top range stuff, you know, and
That's it, yeah.
you pay for good stuff, but I
Yeah,
get so
but
much
you know
enjoyment.
when you pay for that, you
Yeah.
know you're going to get
It's like
your quality for
So
it.
it's like a challenge for me to,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, it's just part of being an old soldier with like rotten kit from 1950 something, and I was in 1980, and you either suffer in the field or you jack your kit up, and you know, being obviously from a rifle
You
regiment.
step up from the ammo boots to the DMS boots, and then suddenly realise you ain't got trench foot anymore.
Yeah. Well, there you go, mate. I mean, it weren't long. I mean, we all should club together, and we
Yeah.
soldiers then didn't earn a lot of money and send off to America to what people now are very famous Danner boots.
Yeah.
You know, but they were logger boots then, you know, and
Yeah.
they were just dogs what's it like, you know. A pair of boots like I'm wearing there would cost a squaddy about 90 quid in 1984 or something like that, you know. And you had to have, well, it's just the way it does, mate. But anyway, yeah. Sort of.
Yeah, job's a good one.
Mark 1, happy with that. I just think it may need, well, I don't know. This kind of suits me, because for me, this is a luxury item. Everything I have, I will
Yeah.
carry in a pack, yeah. Small, the straps can be used for other things and that as well, and it don't weigh nothing, does it?
No, I mean, so it weighs, I reckon it weighs probably 6 to 8 ounces with the pouch.
Yeah. And you can
If
go
you're lucky.
paracord. Again, I just think the more surface area on the bottom is better.
Yeah.
Them strappings can be used for other things. You know,
Paracord's
the
got a
top-
tendency to come undone at times as well.
No, I'm not looking paracord. I love the stuff. But again, you could use a bit of paracord if you using that
Yeah.
strapping to have like a tarp over the top, and that's
Yeah.
how I've got an idea on that. You'll see that, Gary. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know if I trust paracord. I know it's £550, but I don't know how many pounds I am. But anyway, yeah, look, job done.
well
And
10
I think-
stone's 140 pounds, so if you suddenly weigh
You do
30
maths,
stone,
You do, mate. No, I'm an old soldier, mate. You know. When I was in the army, they had invented dyslexia, so
Yeah.
the job done, you know.
yeah, still writing on slates.
Yeah, no. Well, actually waterproof notebooks, but you know,
Yeah.
we had to buy them as well.
Um,
Don't know. Yeah,
got one of them as well.
quite. So happy with this. I could actually go asleep here. I am of the mind. I have got a mini hammock here rather
Yeah.
than a mini chair. But if this was like a foot and a half shorter,
Yeah, but you think if you stuck overnight and you'd got like a poncho in your
tell
bag,
you what, mate, all the ground was soaking and you were
Yeah.
desperate. I know all the convection and all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff, which got some ideas on that. but-
you'd be happy of that and sleeping on the deck.
And a bit of paracord, mate, you could use if
Yeah.
you know. So it is like kind of minimalist, because everything I have goes
Yeah.
in my rucksack. And if
Yeah.
it ain't in my rucksack and I can't carry it, I ain't having it.
Exactly.
But you've got to have a bit of luxury.
No.
The sun's gorgeous, mate. I'll tell you what, I could sort of go to sleep here. I'm not kidding. Serious, no.
Sorry, I didn't bring a pillar.
No, I've got one of them, because that's also my Bergen flotation aid.
Yeah.
We'll go through that, mate. Yeah, that little blow-up pillar that everybody has, and they feel
Yeah.
guilty for it. You need to cross the river.
I'll tell you what I've got in there. I've got a
No, not joking.
I've got
Because
like I've got like a dustbin size rubble, yellow rubble sack in there. That'll trap some air.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, this is like a kind of a mini hammock. I don't want to build my own hammock. I really do. I am going to. I am going to.
Yeah.
Because this is.
Well, you've got enough material left to do it.
Yeah. I love doing that, you know, thinking, well, how can I do it, and then like, get it done and that sort of stuff. Again, there's loads of, so I tell you what, thank you for everybody YouTubes, there's nothing like original here, there's nothing I've sort of come up with.
Nothing that hasn't been seen before or won't be seen again.
Yeah. I've got a few innovations I have, and like I say, just coming up there, seeing your legs, mate, a bit guilty there, I think we need to get you a pair of decent kegs. So that's why, you know, there you go, look, like the old Russian Gorka trousers, Moscow prepper.
See, the trouble is, I don't do trousers.
£5 for the trousers, £5 for the Cadoran Island, job done, brilliant pair of bush.
Last time I wore trousers, a neighbour asked me what I was doing in court that day.
Yeah. So you're not with mine, I can't be like doing with kegs, but you know, just coming up here, mate, you can see why.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Well,
happy days.
Love it. Take care, everybody. Right, well, here we see Barry in the seat. That's how I see the thing being used, rather than sitting in a hammock style. And as he says, he's off the ground, his feet are on the ground, brew in the hand, nice day, pleasant location, £3, job done.
Contender for an overnighter?
We found a nice little spot here, mate, haven't we? Top of a hill when it's flat, miles from anywhere. Yeah, job done. So you reckon that's alright then, mate?
Oh, spot on, yeah.
I just think it needs to be a bit, the material needs to be long enough but wide enough anyway. So we've had a bit of a tinkering about, we had a bit, you know, two old farts mucking about in the woods, and as like Barry says, he's just not used to sitting in these things, mate, are you? Or getting it how you do.
Getting the hang of it. Oh, it! You want me not to ask you for a job?
No. That's alright, mate, yeah, I think that's kind of there. But you've got to see it up and going, and then you think, right, there's, well, I already know that needs to be a bit wider. I think I'll get that sorted. Anyway, Connor, test, what do you reckon? Job done?
Marks out of 10? About 11 and a half.
That's alright, well.
For a first effort, you know.
Oh.
Then, you know, if we do decide...
As you know, I've been making things for a while, or modifying things, modding stuff. This is all this new terminology I'll get. We used to call it like putting right crap kit when I was in the army, but yeah, no, that's sort of does the old job, doesn't it?
No doubt animal tendencies to come up with a few ideas.
Oh no, brilliant, mate. No, because I'll go back now, and once I've seen one, because I've never seen a hammock chair, you know what I mean? As a soldier, you normally like sort of, I don't know, 6 to 10 inches underneath the ground when you start, poncho over the top in the shell scrape, you know. So that's all sort of new gear to me.
Closest thing we got a hammock was tying a bloody rope on the end of our ponchos.
Nah. Anyway, so yeah, this is the final bit of the old hammock. Job done.
It works.